All right, friends, how are you today? It is Wednesday, the 20th of November, 2019. Aaron here bringing you your daily horoscope. We got the moon in Virgo. It's going to be in the early to middle degrees today. Okay, later on in the day, it's going to start opposing Neptune. All right. If we want our dreams to come into reality, we have to focus on the work, right? We cannot escape doing the work. We've got the last 2 days of the sun in Scorpio. Sun is still focused on the shadow side of self before Friday. It's going to move into Sagittarius, which is going to be focusing more on our expansion, right? How do we use this information to be able to expand, to be able to grow, right? So the last 2 days, though, very important, right? The last degrees, 28, 29 degrees of any sign is really intense, right? So we're going to be getting hit. I said yesterday, the hard stuff is over. Still there's always going to be challenges, right? The moon squaring the sun was still a challenging, but it's different from what we experienced over the weekend. That heavier energy that we experienced over the weekend. So we're going to still, experience little bits of turbulation or tension or traction, as we're going along. And today, the big focus, there's a couple things. One, the moon is going to be creating the trine over to Uranus. And it's saying, again, we don't need to fall back to the old things that we're relying on. When you've healed and you no longer need crutches, throw them down. We can learn to walk again. We no longer need to go back to the crutches. It's like a child when it's, growing up and it wants to jump back into, the little carrier or the crib. And it's just like, no. You've outgrown this. This is time, that was for little babies. Now we're bigger babies. And now we're, little adults. And now we're bigger adults. You know what I'm saying, though, right? So it's like we don't have to go, we no longer need these things. We no longer need the tools that we once needed. Those tools were very, very necessary for a period of time. And they were there to help us heal, to get us through something. And now we're kind of focusing on letting those things go to get on with our life and focusing on the work that we need to do. So it's like, all right, if we had the broken leg and we needed those crutches to get around for a little while, right? Strengthen our arms. And now it's time for that physical therapy, and focusing on the work. That's what Virgo season is all about. Well, Virgo, the sign of Virgo, focus on the work and the work that we're doing for others. So it's like for the musician, it's like, okay, you're really, really, really talented. You got a great singing voice, or you're a great drummer, a great guitar player. You're a good act. You got to write the new material, and you got to practice that. So you're not going on stage ready to perform, and then it all falls apart. It's just like being present and giving that great performance. Let me show you the chart here. All right, so here's the moon over in Virgo. And again, this is at noon. The moon at noon, creating that trine to Uranus early in the day, right? Creating a little sextile, which is always fun, to the north node. Compassionately moving through, as always, focusing on that, not focusing too much on how much I'm doing for everybody else and not receiving. This is about giving, unconditional giving, okay? As always, Virgo, what we need, okay? This beautiful saying, the smell of, let me see, now I'm screwing it up. True love is the scent a flower gives off as it's stepped on. It's because it's going to continuously give. It doesn't matter if those petals, let me come back here. It doesn't matter if those petals are being crushed into perfume or whatever it is. It doesn't know the difference. It doesn't know the difference. It's going to continuously give off that beautiful aroma. And just the same, we have to respect and understand the manure that adds to the lovely fragrance of that rose, right? Without the manure, there's no magic. So again, there's always that growing kind of a pain. We just want to say that's a bunch of crap, but then it's just like, well, what grows out of that crap? It's a lot of beauty, right? So it's being unconditional, not being so judgmental, letting go a little bit of our analytical behaviors. And that's the beauty of the sextile over to the North Node in Cancer, letting go of some of that analytical, right, wrong, you did this, I did this. This is, saying, okay, come down, be compassionate. Mercury is still stationed direct the entire day. It's not until Thursday afternoon that it's actually going to move forward. So what that means is, it's like we're going around the race car track. Mercury retrograde, Mercury goes, it goes around the sun every 88 days. Okay, it's very, very, very fast. So when it comes around, it perceives in the night sky to go backwards as it's coming around the curvature. So it's just like if we're going the same speed around that racetrack and you're just on the inner this time. So this car is going faster, but you're on the inner, so we're going quicker than it. Well, when it's stationed direct, what that means is Earth and Mercury are seemingly moving at the exact same speed. So it doesn't really look like Mercury's moving at all. It's just looks like it's stopped. Okay? So the information, we're not zipping back through things again. Although Mercury's not technically in its retrograde cycle right now, it's still stationed, meaning it's still stopped, meaning there's still a bit of, clogged drain. Okay, the hose is still a little pinched. It's not full flow. Okay, so it's still being mindful of all of those things. And we still see here this trine to Mercury down to the North Node. Okay, Mars here, again, home in the sign of Scorpio. And this is an exciting place, again, for Mars to be. Not only is it home, but it's very passionate and driven here. Right? There was so much I was talking about yesterday. Mars is very passionate and driven here. As it's dealing with other people, it's dealing with our business relationships. Tying up loose ends is a lot of this, what's going on. The last 2 degrees, the sun in Scorpio, this little stellium that we've got going on here. So we're tying up a lot of business loose ends here. Is there an email that we had forgotten to send? Is there someone that we've been meaning to reach out to? There's attention to detail in our relationships on the business side of others and our shared resources. Okay, so who are we doing business with that we need to reach out to? Is there something we need to return to the store? Is there something that we need to order? Do we got to go pick up a turkey for Thanksgiving? Or a tofu turkey for the vegetarians out there. So it's, again, tying up a lot of loose ends, getting very focused. We cannot reach our dreams unless we're focused on doing the work that we just absolutely have to do the work. Yeah. That's pretty good. These have been getting so ridiculously long sometimes because I'm just sitting here chatting away because I get so excited about all the stuff and I want to just tie all the pieces in. But it's just like, nope, let's just stay focused on what's necessary. I love that moon in Virgo. It's there right now, right? Just focus on what's necessary. And it's not seeing the entire mound of things to do. It's looking at one at a time. It's like if we have to clean the whole house, start with one room, one room at a time, not jumping from one thing to another, because then we're just, we're moving the mess and we're not quite getting as much accomplished because we're just little pieces here, where it's just like, no. I'm going to focus all of my attention, laser focused on one thing at a time. And this definitely does have to do with our business partnerships, business relationships. So is there any loose ends that are going on here that we've got to focus in on? That is our day. So have a happy Wednesday. Again, dot the T's, cross the I's. Make sure we're doing all the fine little things as that planet of information is still kind of stopped. All right, not full forward momentum yet. So we still have to be meticulous and paying attention to exactly what we're doing so we're just not skipping over an important step. All right. Happy Wednesday, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.